This meeting is being recorded.
You can share the PPT. The first slide would be visible, maybe.
The screen is visible, right?
It was. Now vanished.
Not visible now.
Yeah.
Slideshow mode. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I can see that the attendees are still joining in. We can wait for 2 or 3 minutes more, and then we can start with the webinar.
Surbhi, let's begin now.
Yes. Uh, Good evening, dear panelists and everyone present for this webinar. Before we proceed, let me introduce you with our respected and reputed panelists for today's webinar. I'm honored to have Professor Rajesh Agrawal, Chairperson for one-year Global Supply Chain Management Program at IIM Udaipur. Professor R Chandrasekhar, in charge for Center of Supply Chain Management at IIM Udaipur. Ms. Tanu Bhatt from Admissions Team at IIM Udaipur. And I am Surbhi Hore, a current student of Global Supply Chain Management Program at IIM Udaipur. The agenda for today's webinar is to introduce the Global Supply Chain Management Program, which is a one-year MBA program of IIM Udaipur, and address your questions with respect to the program and admission process. I request everyone to please put all your queries in Q&A section. Without further ado, I would like Professor Rajesh Agrawal to take forward this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Surbhi, and a very warm welcome to all the participants who are joining us this evening to listen to the presentation on the MBA in Global Supply Chain Management at IIM Udaipur. And I'll be very happy to answer all the questions along with my colleagues here towards the end of the presentation. And as Surbhi mentioned, if you have any questions during the presentation or afterwards, please key them in the Q&A section and not in the chat section. Next slide, please, Surbhi. So the first question that comes in the mind of anybody as to why should you consider a program in global supply chain management at IIM Udaipur? We think there are three compelling reasons for you to consider this program. First, it's a unique MBA program. The reason why it is unique because it teaches you not only the concepts that are taught to a regular MBA program participants, but it also teaches you the context, which is this global supply chain management. As a result, you gain expertise in both these areas. IIM Udaipur is a leading academic institution, globally recognized, certainly nationally recognized. And the most important of all is that this program in its design and delivery is heavily industry-oriented program. And we believe these three are compelling reasons why one could consider a program in MBA in global supply chain management. Next slide, please. It's a 12-month-long program. The very first batch is started in the year 2013. So we are in the 10th batch now. And Global Supply Chain Management currently has over 166 alumni, both nationally and internationally, and many of them holding very senior positions in the industry. In the initial batches, we deliberately had very small batches because we wanted to place them well. Now the program has become mature and bigger, and we are admitting in the range of 50 to 60 students every year. Next slide, please. Now, it's important to know about the credential of the institution before you even consider applying. So I'm very happy to say that IIM Udaipur is recognized among top 100 in the world in terms of Financial Times Masters in Management ranking. Financial Times, as you all know, is a very famous international daily, and we are in the top 100. QS World University ranking is also one of the most prestigious ranking globally, and we are present in that for the third consecutive year. And I'm glad to mention that a very prestigious world accreditation called Association to Advance Collegiate School of Business, which is given to only 5% business schools in the world, IIM Udaipur is the youngest institution in the world to have received this accreditation. The reason why I'm talking about these rankings and accreditation is this, that this signifies quality and excellence, because whatever we do, we would like to deliver high quality and excellence in our delivery of programs. Next slide, please. As a potential candidate, you would like to know about the program. So those who successfully complete the program shall get an MBA degree. It's a 1-year full-time program. It is a residential program on campus, but of course, one never knows if the pandemic were to return, hope not, then of course the situation changes. Otherwise, it's an on-campus program. To be able to apply in this program, you need 3 years of full-time work experience. And a candidate who is interested to apply should have a valid GRE score, GMAT score, or a CAT score. GRE, GMAT scores, have to be, valid, meaning it has to be within last 5 years and cannot be older than that. And you need, of course, 3 years of university education degree. One of the common questions that we often receive from the participants or the aspirant is this, that what is the minimum marks or cutoff that is there for GMAT, GRE, or CAT? And I would like to mention this, that we do not have a specific cutoff in mind. When we evaluate an application, we evaluate the application in its totality. We look at your profile, your experience, your academic performance, and of course, your marks in GMAT, GRE, or CAT. So I would encourage you not to ask this particular question because we don't have an answer to give it to you, like what is the minimum or cutoff for this GMAT, GRE, or CAT. Next slide, please. Now, talking about the program structure, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, the courses in business management fundamentals are all taught here because this program is an MBA program. So any company would expect that you know finance, you know operations management, you know strategy and things of that kind. So all your core management subjects are taught. In the second term, you are taught special courses with respect to supply chain management, such as logistics, warehousing, project management, and things of that kind. And most importantly, you get an opportunity to work on a live industry project, which is a big one, starting in second term and ends in the third term, where you get an opportunity to dirty your hands. You get an opportunity to solve a problem that the company is facing at the moment, and you, alongside the industry guide as well as IIM Udaipur faculty guide, work on a live project. Third term also has several elective courses that you do alongside our 2-year MBA program participants. So this program is overall a combination of management as well as supply chain courses. Next slide, please. Now, the Institute has put a lot of emphasis on bringing the real life to the classroom. And it has gone ahead and set up what we call a Center for Global Supply Chain Management, which helps us design the courses and bring the industry feedback on the ground. And we have the head of the center, Mr. Chandrasekhar, who's present with us, and I'll invite Mr. Chandrasekhar to speak to you about the center and how it impacts the learning in the courses. Over to you, Mr. Chandrasekhar.
Thank you, Rajesh, and good evening to all the participants. Very happy New Year to all of you. Like Rajesh said, the Center for Supply Chain Management was set up in 2019 with the primary aim of consolidating IIM Udaipur's already strong presence in the area of supply chain and operations. Can we go to the next slide, Surbhi? Yeah. Now, I'll just come to this. The main objective of setting up the center was to enhance the participation of industry in this particular program. Right? To that extent, we are very happy to say that industry has been very receptive to this initiative, and there has been a lot of enthusiasm with which industry has participated in the program. The various ways in which it participates is that they come and address our students as part of various leadership talks. They come and take guest sessions as a part of formal curriculum of various supply chain courses. They, of course, work with our teams extensively during the course of the live project, which Rajesh spoke to you about, right? And, of course, placement is a key area where they have been supportive of this institute and this program in the last couple of years. When our batch strength has gone up quite a bit, we have still found it fairly comfortable to place our students, which is in large measure due to the support the program has received from industry. Now, in order to ensure that our program is aligned with the expectations of industry, we have put in place an advisory board of very, very eminent people from industry, and more specifically from the area of supply chain. These are the members. In front of you in the screen, you'll be able to see some very, very illustrious people who have done some wonderful work in the area of supply chain. Neeraj Ambani, head supply chain at Reliance. We have the CEO of BP World, which is a large logistics and shipping company. We have Usha Sri Tirumala from Manhattan Associates, who are into consulting and application development with relation to supply chain. We have the co-founder of Delivery, which is one of the largest logistics company, Accenture Strategy, and their head of the supply chain consulting division, Parasmita, is there. So it's a very, very senior and illustrious team. And they are there in order to guide us in the right direction insofar as this program is concerned. Right? We even go to the extent of running our curriculum past them, and very, very frequent changes to the curriculum are made based on the inputs we receive from this advisory board. They ensure that what we teach is contemporary, is what industry expects from the students who have undergone such a program, and they commit a lot of time and effort to the program and to the functioning of the center. Next slide. Right. So, like I said, the primary objective is to strengthen the alliance between industry and academia. So the course is one avenue through which we interact with industry. We are also doing a lot of research, especially now with regard to sustainable supply chains and circular economy. We are working with industry to do some meaningful practitioner-oriented research. We want to develop case material, which is India-centric, and which will then be made available to other business schools. That is one of the aspirations of the institute, which is being driven by the center. And I'm happy to say that many of these cases we want to develop from the live projects which our students have undertaken. So every year our students do live projects which are very well appreciated by both the industry and by the institute. And we want to select the good ones and make them into case studies, which will then go back into the curriculum, not only in IIMU, but we would like to make it available to other academic institutes also. So a repository of cases is again a way by which we interact with industry. Yes, Surbhi, next. So these are some of the companies where our alumni are working. You'll find that it cuts across industries. And I'm very happy to say in the last couple of years, the variety in the roles that have been made available to our students is also very, very encouraging, right? In addition to core supply chain consulting, analytics, strategy, there are a host of roles which are being made available to our students, which only talks about the way the program is being perceived by industry. Yes, sir. Next. These are the typical roles, I can say: strategy, operations, product management, supply chain management, which could be in core supply chain companies or in consulting roles. So the varieties has been only increasing every year. Yes, sir. Right. Now, we don't want this to be a one-year program in which you get one additional degree to add to your resume. We want this to be a transformational journey where you as an individual go out as a transformed person. And we thought the best person who could talk to you about experiences is the person who's undergoing the program. So Surbhi, please take us through how this journey has helped you transform yourself as an individual.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. So let me first start with something about myself in brief. I am resident of Nagpur, and after completing my engineering, I started working for 6 years in IT procurement industry. I've always liked to lead the initiative and somehow lacked managerial skills. And above all, I was restricted myself to just a part of procurement in the supply chain management. And this made me realize that I needed to upskill myself. And that's when I fortunately came across the 1-year MBA in GSCM at IIM Udaipur. This opportunity opportunity mainly helped me in meeting and interacting with colleagues from various domains. This can be students of my batch, faculties, industry experts with whom I can work and I can actually get knowledge of how the supply chain industry is working. Talking about this course specifically, this course encourages and teaches each and every candidate that how the entire supply chain is transforming and adapting as per the modern world of technology and digitalization. Along with the fundamental and core subjects of operations in supply chain, we also get introduced to contemporary and fascinating subjects like Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, advanced analytics, and many more. So, as per the name of the course, people believe that it might be continued to the core aspects of supply chain, but actually it enlightens with the holistic view of management of business with its global perspective. As per the survey done by one of the companies, it says that only 17% of the women are at the leadership position at the supply chain industry, which strongly encouraged me to be part of this course. And that's why I'm working to pave a way to this industry, and I can be inspiration to all the other women in this industry of supply chain management. And that's how my transformational journey is when I entered into IIM Udaipur. Thank you. I would like a professor to take ahead with the presentation.
You can over the next slide.
Yes.
So this is the placement situation with regard to the last two batches, 21, 22. Of course, we placed them and we placed them in well in time and in very good roles in organizations. So these are some of the companies which had recruited from the program in 21, 22. Many of them are regular recruiters. Many of them come, when their need arises. But pretty much we have about 70 to 75% of the companies return every year for recruitment from our program. Yeah, you can go to the next slide. Yeah, in 22-23, we started placements in the middle of November. By January beginning, 75% of the batch has already been placed. The compensation is in the range of about 22 lakhs. We have a handful of candidates who are yet to be placed, and we're very confident that by this month end or by the first week of February, we should be finished with placements. So the placement situation, like I said, has got a lot of support from industry, and our students are doing very well, not only in getting placed, after getting placed in their respective companies, they're building up a good career for themselves. And some of the companies who came this year are visible to you. Accenture is a regular recruiter. Allcargo has come, Cognizant, Tech Mahindra, Infosys, Genpact. These are Reliance came and recruited a few people from our program. So it's a variety in terms of organizations, industry, roles. Pretty exciting times ahead. As you know, supply chain, and because of the digital perspective we give to our program, is a hot topic, and I'm sure that the placement situation will only improve as we go along. Yeah, Surbhi, next. Now, these are the companies with only a handful. We have not reproduced all of them, but some of the companies where our students are working on the live project. Now, like Rajesh said, this is one of the most important segments of the program, where our students are given the opportunity of practicing what they've learned in the classroom on real life supply chain situations faced by these companies, where you will work with the respective teams from the companies on issues which they are facing now, today, in the supply chain space, right? It goes around for about 4 months. We start somewhere in November, we end by February. Of course, it's not a typical internship. You will remain on campus because the course goes concurrently. Most of the engagement with the organization will happen online. If required, we allow our students to go for short duration visits for about 1 or 2 times if the project demands it. But this has been a very popular component even from the industry perspective. And many of our client organizations, our partner organizations, have been very, very enthusiastic about this segment and are willing to give even more and more projects to, in fact, every year, the number of projects we get, we're not able to accommodate so many. Many good projects, we're having to apologize to our clients saying that, sorry, we don't have students available. You will work in teams of 2 or 3, which will also encourage you to learn from your other, your batchmates. And it's a very good medium by which you can consolidate all the theoretical inputs which have been given to you. So some of the organizations, like I said, were listed here. Now, why this program makes sense, I'll again give it back to Professor Rajesh, who will be able to tell you the reasons why you should consider this program. Yeah, Rajesh.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And as I said at the beginning of my presentation, that it's important as you explore many opportunities, this question will come to your mind: why should I consider Global Supply Chain Management Program? We believe it's a unique program because I don't have to overemphasize the importance of supply chain management globally. It has always been important, but more so after the pandemic. And you get a prestigious MBA degree. It's a very heavily industry-oriented program. Approximately 50% of the faculty come from industry and teach in this program. So it has a great degree of industry participation, both in the design of the program, delivery of the program, projects, and everything that you can think of. And IIM Udaipur, as I mentioned a while ago, is a premier management institute in the country, though it's a 10-year-old, but it's already being recognized nationally as well as internationally. But you must think carefully what is good for you, and if your goals align with that of what is being offered in the program, then we believe it could be an interesting program for you to consider. Now, I would request Surbhi to host the question and answer session. Next slide, please, Surbhi. So if you have any questions that remain after the webinar is over, you're very welcome to write to us at the email ID that is given here or the phone number that you see here. And you may like to take a screenshot of this so that you can contact us anytime after this webinar in the days to come. Please keep putting your questions in the Q&A section, and we will be happy to answer each of the questions, even if it takes longer than the scheduled time. So Surbhi, over to you. Surbhi, maybe you can start with taking each question that is there on the Q&A section and read it out. Yes.
Yes, sure, sir. So the first question is from Vinayak Srivastava. How is this program different from the regular 2-year MBA program?
Let me take that question. Yeah. So Vinayak, 2-year MBA program is, of course, as the name suggests, is a 2-year program, but you will find very many people who come who are freshers, who have not had the advantage of working in the industry. And then the delivery of the program, the pitch of the program is accordingly largely that way. There is a segment who is interested in pursuing 2-year MBA program, but there's also a segment and a demand for 1-year MBA for people who are experienced and who for some reason didn't do the MBA at the time soon after they graduated. So the two different programs. This is more like a lateral where people have already worked and are looking to upskill themselves. So in that sense, they are different, and there's nothing called one better than the other. It's a question of what suits a particular individual. So that is how it is different, but happy to answer any more follow-up questions if you may have.
Next question is from Ahsan Ahmed. Is there any assistance in placement?
Yes, let me take that as well. Ashan, there's certainly a full-fledged placement team we have where we place, we will make best efforts to place all the candidates in the program. And as Mr. Chandrasekhar mentioned a while ago, that ever since the program has started, all the students in the program have always been placed for the last 10 years. So we do have a full-fledged placement support.
Just to add to that, but placement will be driven by a student placement committee. There will be a placement office as a part of the institute which will support this, but it's largely student. The initiative is taken by the students placement committee, and the necessary support is given by the institute. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the next question is by Puneet Shinde. What is difference between 1 year and 2 year MBA?
I just answered that question, Puneet, so I hope you heard the same.
Next question is from an anonymous attendee. Is it a full-time residential program?
Yes, it is a full-time residential program. You are required to not only stay here, but once you are offered and you join the program, you have to resign from your current job, take a relieving letter from your employer, and then join the program.
Next question is by Shubham Deshmukh. I'm working in family business, which is associated with Godrej and Company Limited. My work experience is more than 3+. Is it valid for this program?
Mr. Chandrasekhar would like to take this.
Yes, though it's a family company, if you've been working for more than 3 years, then yes, you will be eligible for consideration.
And if I can add that not only you would be eligible, but we believe it would be helpful. But if it's a family business and if you want to apply and you are not an employee of the company, then in which case you may have to submit certain documentation, which you may write to the admissions office about, and they will be happy to help you as to what is the documentation required.
Next question is from Dattatreya, who is asking regarding working in a banking sector. I'm sorry, I will just take that once again. Working in banking sector, does it make any sense to banker to join this program?
That's for you to decide, right? If you are interested in the field of supply chain and you foresee a career in that particular area, then this course will make sense. That's a decision that which will have to be made at the level of the individual. At the institute, we really can't respond and say whether this makes sense or not. It all depends on how interested you are in this field and how passionate you are about pursuing a career in this field.
Next question is from Ranjit Kumar. I'm almost 42 years with 7.5 years of work experience, with 3 years of marketing domain in very big corporation and 3.5 in IT domain. I'm very much interested with both 1 year MBA program, but how risky will it be joining these programs at this age? And I'm also confused which 1 year MBA course will be better for me.
So let me take this, Ranjit. I think it would be almost impossible to get a placement given the background that you mentioned, and it would be only fair that I discourage you from joining or applying for this program, because most of the companies would look for, 3 to 8 or 9 years of experience. But given the age profile, it will be kind of very hard for us to look for a appropriate placement for you.
Next question is from SK. Currently working in Merchant Navy. Is this course provide job opportunity?
Oh, yes, actually, in fact, we have had candidates from Merchant Navy in the previous batches, and there has been no problem in placing them vis-a-vis the other candidates with some other profile. So Merchant Navy, we have had candidates and they have all been placed.
Next question is from Sarika Gautam. Hello, all happy new year. The only work experience is enough to join this program. I have 6 years of work experience in production domain. Is that program relevant for me to upgrade my skills?
Yes, absolutely. 6 years. We have a minimum criteria of 3 years. Production is very much related to supply chain management. So there is no issue why you should not consider yourself suitable for this.
Next question is from Shreya Kaul. I have masters in technical course and then work X of 5 years. Currently, I've been working in an IT firm with an lost this question. Just give me a 1 minute. What is the role? What is an average age of the class? Do I need to submit any of the proof?
Can you, I didn't get that question.
Yeah,
so
I
you-
didn't get the question.
So it is asking me, as the question is, just give me a moment. I'll just check once more the question. Meanwhile, we can take another question. It's from Tushar Auntie. Does the institute offer any of the financial assistance to the student? If so, then what is the criteria for the same?
Unfortunately, we do not have any financial assistance for the program, but we have a tie-up with State Bank of India where most of our candidates take a loan from. So you are free to take a loan from any bank, but we have a tie-up with State Bank of India, and we will be happy to assist you in that.
Next question is from Rohit Raman. Sir, how this program is different? This question has been already answered.
Yeah, 1 year and 2 years. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, the next question is, I have 1 year of work experience. This is anonymous attendee. Still, I can apply for this program.
No,
No.
you require a minimum 3 years of full-time work experience. So if you have less than that, you are not eligible yet.
Next question is from Mandar. Having 5 years of work experience, I think the question has been removed. I'll take another question from Diksha. This course is specific to supply chain management. What is the eligibility criteria?
The eligibility criteria does not change. The eligibility criteria is the same, that you have to have minimum 3 years of full-time work experience. You have to have a bachelor's degree, and you have to have a valid GMAT, GRE, or a CAT score. With that, you can apply, but you're very welcome to visit our website to check the eligibility criteria.
Another question is from anonymous attendee. I have 9 years of work experience in public sector, general insurance company. Is it advisable for me to join this course?
It's a risk. It's a risk you're taking. Placement becomes very, very challenging. Like Professor Rajesh has been repeatedly saying, 3 to 7, 8 years is something which we're able to manage. But beyond that, it becomes very difficult. So I think it would be a risk, and you need to think it over carefully before you take a decision.
Another question is from anonymous. I'm 30 and have 6 years of IT sales experience. Would that be suitable for me?
Yes, you satisfy the criteria. Now, it all boils down to how interested you are in this field, in this domain. Otherwise, in terms of sheer numbers, you meet the criteria.
Let me add this, because this question is coming from very many people, as I can see. The minimum is 3 years. There is no official maximum number of years of experience. But we have found that experience in the range of 3 to 8 years is relatively easy for us to get a placement, suitable placement. Your background has no problem. You can come from any background whatsoever. But what matters is your interest in pursuing supply chain as a career, right? You can come from production, sales, marketing, whichever field, but it boils down to your interest in future. If you're interested in supply chain, this is a good program. And that is for you to decide whether you are interested in supply chain or not. Right.
Next question is from Vinayak Srivastava. How is the program different from executive MBA?
See, different people call this program in different names. Some people call it executive MBA. Some people call it MBA for working people. Some people call it 1 year MBA program. They're all the same. Basically, it's a full-time program and a 1 year MBA program.
Next question is from anonymous attendee. What is the batch strength for 2022-2023?
We are expecting in the region of 50 to 60 candidates.
22-23 is the current year. We are around 48, 49 is our batch strength.
Current batch, sorry, is 48, 49. The next batch is expected to be between 50 to 60.
Yeah.
Next question is from Vinayak Srivastava again. He's asking if the course is AICTE approved?
No, it is not, and we are not looking for an AICTE approval. I see AICTE approval is largely for those private, courses run by private institutions who may have suspect background, we don't know. We are not looking for, we are, a course offered by IIM, which is by Act of Parliament. So we are not looking for that accreditation.
Next question is from Evan Prakash. What's expected in the video that we have to submit as a part of admission process?
It is an opportunity for you to showcase your best, right? How do you speak, whatever you want to speak. Tanu, anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, sir, it's all about like a self-introduction where you can tell about yourself, your background, why you want to do this program, and your experience.
Absolutely.
Next question is from Pratik M. Is the life project different from internship? If yes, what is the difference?
We do not have any internship in this program because you all have work experience. That's why there's no internship. Live project is an opportunity to apply what you learned here in IIM Udaipur in a real life situation. And that is what live project is all about.
Okay, so the next question is from Ranjit Kumar, if I apply for this round, which will be closed on 12th Jan and not shortlisted, can I apply for the next round?
Tanu?
Yes, if you have applied in this round, if you're not shortlisted in the initial screening, you can apply in the next round. Means mostly means if you have a upgraded scorecard, you can apply with the next round.
Okay. Next question is from Anonymous. Currently, I'm working at IOCL as an executive engineer since October 2021. Should I pursue for MBA?
That's your decision. Whether you should pursue this MBA or not is absolutely your decision. We told you about what this program is all about, and it's your decision. If it interests you, if it aligns with your career goals, then the decision you have to take.
Of course, if you started working from October 21, you may not be eligible for this program, but doing an MBA is, of course, your decision.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is from Rohit. Sir, are sabbatical allowed to sit for placement?
We have an arrangement for sabbatical, meaning you take a leave from your employer and you go back to the same employer, right? In which case we shall not provide you any placement support. At the time of applying, there is an option where you can choose a sabbatical option and not the placement option, but you have that option in the application form. But yes, we have a sabbatical option. But let's be clear, then in which case there is no placement opportunity available.
Next question is from Pranay. Hi, sir. Nowadays, many institutes are giving supply chain management program. May I know any USP of IIM Raipur GSCM? I guess he wanted to say IIM Udaipur GSCM regarding the course curriculum.
We believe this is a unique program because of the reasons that we outlined, extensive industry input, high quality faculty teaching, great placement record so far. Now it's up to you to decide, whether something comparable or better is there. It's your call.
Next question is from Anonymous. I did my MTech in production engineering from NIT Allahabad. So will I be getting some weightage for this course?
The weightages are given by number of years of experience, or for that matter, as I said, there is no formula. It is a judgment made by the admissions committee. So I would say this to all the participants who are listening to this, that if you think you are interested in this program and global supply chain is something that excites you, go ahead and apply. Because it's very difficult to explain to you that whether this particular experience will get you these many points, right? And that's the best way to go forward.
Next question is from Anonymous. What are the operation roles offered by the companies?
all supply chain operations, whether it would be warehouse related, procurement related, any operations part of the supply chain domain, all those roles are available to us. The exact designation, the role will depend on the candidate, the requirement of the organization. But anything in supply chain operations, which could be from inventory management, warehouse management, logistics, all those are open to our students.
Next question is by Shubham Mane. In case the candidate having the gap after completing graduation and before starting professional tenure of 1.5 years and after 4.5 years of work X, can I apply for this course?
Sure, you can apply. That doesn't make a difference.
The next question is from Anonymous, which is asking about the global immersion program is linked with GSCM.
We do
The
not
international immersion. No, we don't have an international immersion component.
international immersion or global immersion. It's
No.
a 1-year full taught program.
Next question is from Amal, who is asking, do we have to separately apply for GSCM and DEM course?
Yes, you have to.
Next question, the roles offered, what are the roles offered for general consulting and product management? How is it possible?
How is it? What is that again?
Roles offered in general management, product management. How is it possible? What are the roles offered?
I don't understand that. How is it possible? I don't understand the question. What exactly?
This is the question. This is in regards with the global supply chain management, I guess. They're asking how the roles are being taken care in consulting.
Product management. We have roles in strategy. We have roles in a variety of areas. Now, I don't understand the second part of the question, which says, how is it possible? I think you can possibly retype that question to share exactly what you mean by what your concerns are.
One more question is from an anonymous attendee. He is asking that what is the meaning of driven placements?
No.
Driven placements.
Driven placement. We don't understand that question. Let's take the next one.
Yes, I'll go ahead with the next question. Is Abhineet, is this 1-year MBA considered as master degree in World Education Service Evaluation?
Let me answer that. So we give a Master in Business Administration from IIM Udaipur. Different university, different organizations have their own parameter to evaluate what is it equivalent to. And it is better you clarify with them whether, what would like to equate IIM Udaipur degree, 1-year MBA degree as, and we are in no position to certify anything, what is it equivalent to.
Another question is from Anonymous. They're asking about the eligibility criteria for CAT, GMAT, and GRE.
I think we
You
already
have to write that exam and get the score and apply. That's as simple as that.
Next question is from Shubham Deshmukh. What are the qualities that are looking in an ideal candidate for this program?
Well, that you need to appear in the interview and find out. That can't be explained in the webinar.
Next question is, will the training in the organization be considered as an experience?
If you are getting paid during the training and you have salary slips for the training, then yes, it can be considered. In which case you need to share that with the admissions.
Sure. The next question is this program a degree or diploma? From an anonymous.
It's a degree program.
So next question is, does IIMU shortlist students on the basis that they will be able to place or not?
That we can't discuss over the webinar.
Yeah.
The next question
Surbhi, in case you are finding it challenging to read, maybe I can read it from here to expedite because there are many open questions. You are finding some challenge?
Uh, so there are a lot of repeated questions in terms of the percentile of CAT, and
Oh, okay.
we have
So,
already answered. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to questions which are different
Okay.
in that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Uh, the next question is from Chirag. Currently, my family income is 12 lakhs per annum. In case I get an admission, I have to resign and my family income will be 4 lakhs per annum. Will I be considered an OBC NC while applying to this course?
That you need to separately write to the admission office and find out.
Yeah, I need to add one thing, like for this program, there is no reservation.
So you write it to the admission office and then we will respond accordingly.
Okay, the next question is again on the CAT exam percentile, which is 76.75. Can I get an admission?
We can't answer that. You have to apply and find out.
Very direct question.
Okay. The next question is what is expected in a 2-minute video that we have to present?
That you have answered. It's a self-introduction, brief self-introduction.
Okay. The next question is in a given GRE, I want to write again. Can I update my scorecard after submitting the application to the admissions team?
Tanu, if you can answer.
Actually, it is compulsory to submit your valid score at the time of application if you're submitting an application. So without a valid score, the application will not be considered.
The next question is, are the previous year CAT scores accepted?
It's mentioned up to from 2019 onwards.
Yes, 2019 and above score are eligible, so you can apply with that.
Next question is, does educational gap of 2 years will matter in selection of my UG?
No.
Okay. The next question is good evening, sir. Do this course have any age criteria? I'm 36 years old and have 9 years of work experience.
36 years would be somewhat hard, actually, perhaps very hard to get you a placement. So I would discourage you from applying in this program.
36 years, 9 years is difficult.
Yeah. Next question is from Chirag. Is there a defined batch strength?
Sorry, defined what?
Batch strength.
I mentioned that we are expecting a batch size of 50 to 60 in the next year.
The next question is from Shivam Kumar. Could you please elaborate on placement process? It was mentioned it will be driven by students.
So as mentioned that students take the initiative, we have a placement office. Jointly, they work out what is the best way to get the best placement outcome for the students.
Next question is, currently I'm working in Mahindra & Mahindra in R&D sector. So can I apply?
Of course, you're eligible to apply.
Next question is, I have a good profile. What makes me to be eligible for this program? Can you please explain me with an example? What does make a good profile?
What does make a good profile? There is no specific answer to what is a good profile. There are many great managers, very different in their own ways. So as far as eligibility is concerned, it is defined. What makes a good manager, a good applicant is what overall profile that we see and then take a decision.
Next question is Hiren Bhai. Sir, those who are having experience in manufacturing, can they also apply for this program?
Absolutely. I think this is very well suited for those who come from manufacturing background.
Next question is from Ranjit, is asking, does any of the big 4 consulting companies participate in campus placement?
They come to the campus for placement, but they have not selected anybody from this particular program. But our PGP students have been selected, so they do participate. If there's a suitable role, they will come for this program also.
Next question is, how this program is different from how this program 1-year MBA where operation and supply chain are chosen as electives?
Yeah, this program has many more subjects which are contemporary for supply chain managers to know about. The digital perspectives, the technology-oriented courses. Those are all mandatory courses, are part of this courses, with much more elaborate than what you do in your elective operations and supply chain courses.
Okay. The next question is from Mandar. From Rishabh. What is the last date for GMAT exam that will be considered for admission?
Tanu, can you answer that?
Surbhi, can you please repeat the question?
What is the last date or the year for the GMAT exam that can be considered for the admission? The score of GMAT.
GMAT score is valid for 5 years. It is mentioned on your mark sheet, like that the day you give an exam. From that day, it is valid for 5 years. So suppose if you have given exam in like 2019, so it is valid.
Okay, next question is from Chirag. Is there any bias towards the experienced supply chain professional interviews or admission process? Also, are there any prerequisites apart from the 3 years of work experience?
There are no other prerequisites. And I think, as I mentioned before, that is very difficult to give a nuanced answer to each of these questions. I would appeal that if you think supply chain interests you and you're interested in MBA from a reputable institution, go ahead and apply. That's the best way to approach. I can also see very many questions about the minimum cutoff in GMAT GRE CAT. I would like to repeat that we do not have a GMAT GRE cutoff in mind. We evaluate the applications holistically. So if you are interested, go ahead and apply.
Yeah. Next question is, I have 5 years of work experience. So after GSCM course, which roles can I expect in the placement?
During the course of the program, you'll realize yourself which are the areas of interest to you, and you should pursue a career in that area. At this point in time, with your background, I cannot say that these are potential areas. It all depends on where you show interest, where you pick up the maximum from the program.
Yeah. So the next question is from Jay. In my last year industrial experience working in Siemens digital industry, will I be considered for this program apart from 3 years of work experience?
What is that? I didn't get that.
So the question is that the experience is in the digital field of a manufacturing unit, and will he be, apart from the 3 years of work experience, he would be able to apply for this course or not? Will that be considered as an experience?
If he has the 3 years experience, which is a requirement, he will be considered. If he doesn't have 3 years, irrespective of which area the experience is, he will not be considered.
So the next question. Okay. How beneficial is this program after 1 year, doing of 1 year of GSCM? It's an anonymous question.
I'm not clearly. Move to the next question.
Does this program course in SCM or it covers the other domains such as finance and consulting and sale?
So
Does this program have other courses?
If you look at the structure of the program, the first term is devoted largely to general management subjects where you are given an exposure of all these areas. Right? The second and third terms are more supply chain oriented. So like Professor Rajesh said, we believe that a good manager, even if he's going to be a specialist in supply chain, needs to be aware of the other faculties, and they are given an exposure in the first term of the program.
Next question is, what is the course start date for this year?
First week of April, we will start.
Next question is, during placements, can I opt for the company's location wise, as in where I want to work?
The company will come with roles. You will apply, you will undergo the interview process, the company will make an offer. Now, as per our placement policy, you're required to take that offer. You can't pick and choose depending on locations. No.
Next question is, what is the last date to apply for this course in 2023, this cycle?
Tanu, can you answer that?
The last, right now the cycles 4 is going on. The deadline is 12th January and the last day when the applications are ending, it's 2nd of February.
Cycle, yeah.
5th cycle, last cycle.
Okay. Next question is, I have 5 years of work experience. Will my CAT, GRE or GMAT score will be considered if I don't have any valid GMAT, GRE score considered?
You have to have a valid GMAT or GRE score or a CAT score, whatever is your number of years of experience.
Next question is, this question has been asked with many of them, is that when will be the interview call will be scheduled with the candidate and how much time will it take to announce the result of the admission?
So regarding the interview, we have given a tentative deadlines on the website for the announcement of a result and the closing of applications. So mostly after the closing of application, the interview process will start and you'll get the outcome of application within the deadline, which is given on the website for the announcement of a result.
The next question again, it's many of the questions which are coming is regarding the eligibility criteria for CAT, GRE, GMAT.
Yeah. So we have talked about the eligibility several times, so look for other questions.
Yeah. The another question is, once you get the offer, can you sit for other interviews?
No, once you are offered a job and you accept it, then you can't sit for the next one. But these rules evolve every year based on the placement committee run by the students and the placement team. So every year this will evolve.
The next question is, I'm giving my GMAT on 31st January 2023. Will it be considered for the admission?
Yes, it will be considered as you are giving on 31st January. Most probably you will be able to apply in last cycle, cycle 5th. If you get your unofficial scorecard, because mostly you'll get in 3 days. So if you get before the deadline, you can apply with your unofficial scorecard. Once you get the official scorecard, you can submit it to the admission office over mail.
Another question is, do I need the GMAT score at the time of application or can I appear for GMAT after applying for this program?
No, at the time of application, it is mandatory to upload your score, official scorecard or unofficial scorecard, GMAT, but it is mandatory to apply with the scorecard.
Okay. Well, another question is, after GSCM course, which IT roles can be expected if a person coming from IT domain for around 4 years of work experience?
You will not want to continue as a developer having done this program. There are roles offered by IT application development companies, right? So you will be the subject matter expert, who will be employed by these companies, but it will not be coding. I'm sure that you will not want to continue coding after you do this program, but there will be consulting roles as well as roles related to application development in the supply chain domain.
Yeah. Even I can answer this question based on the fact that there are people who have been coming from different backgrounds. For example, people coming from, I myself come from IT domain and I've continued my placement in the IT company itself. So the worry part of changing the domain, that depends totally on the interest of the candidate after doing the course. Next question is, if I get selected for this program, is there a worry on the side of placement if I won't get the correct placement?
Come again? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah. Not able to.
Okay, sir, I have been selected for the program, but I have 8+ years of work experience. Is it worrying for the placement?
Not at all.
Yeah.
3 to 8 years is a sweet spot. Actually, companies do look for, once it becomes, maybe 10 plus years of experience, then it becomes hard. 3 to 8 is a sweet spot.
The next question is, I'm 30 years and I have 9 years of experience in procurement. What are my chances to be part of this course?
Being a part of the course is one thing where you are eligible. So if you go through the process, you will be a part of the program. But with your experience in a particular area, placements you may have to worry about. You may not be able to get value for the 9 years experience. You will have to reconcile with a lot of these things before you take your decision. But like Professor Rajesh has been saying, beyond 8 years, we find it difficult. And you come with 9 years in one particular area, it could be a challenge placement. When I say challenge, I'm saying that placement in a role of your choice with a salary of your choice, all those becomes difficult to match expectations.
The next question is on how many candidates have been selected in the previous cycle, and what is the expected students that can be selected for the next cycle?
I don't think you need to worry about cycle to cycle, admissions. If you are interested, go ahead and apply. That's the best way to approach this issue.
The next question is it an MBA program or a certification program?
It's an MBA program.
The next question is, what is the validity for 1 year MBA given government objection for 1 year program?
So what matters is the industry recognizes this because the placement occurred. Government has certain issues about us awarding an MBA degree. We are in conversation with the government, but it's a separate issue. But industry very much recruits students who graduate from this program.
Next question is, I have 10th 90%, 12 76%, graduation 7.4 GPA. Is it good enough for me to consider for the admission?
We can't answer this over webinar. You need to apply and check.
Yes.
How many applications of IIMU generally receives for this particular program?
Leave it to the admissions office.
Okay. The next question is, it's about the same question which has been asked by Rishabh regarding that he is going to give the exam on 31st of January 2023, the GMAT exam. Would he be able to apply after that for this particular course?
Same, Rishabh, like I has mentioned earlier, if you have an unofficial scorecard that at the time of application, you can apply with that unofficial scorecard and submit the application. Once you have a valid scorecard, you can mail it to admission office.
Next question is, what are the chances of a candidate working in thermal power sector getting placed if he enters into this program?
It is as good as any other sector person joining this program. There's nothing specifically strong or weak about a person with the background which you have mentioned. So it all depends on what you bring to the program and what you get out of the program and how you are able to communicate your strengths to a prospective recruiter.
The next question is it necessary to have 3 years of work experience in the domain of supply chain?
No.
The next question is the same question in terms of thermal. What's the perspective of energy sector and supply chain management, as I have previous experience in energy sector?
The same as what I said about the thermal power experience. There is no difference between any other a candidate coming from any other sector.
Yeah. Next question is, will I be eligible to pursue PhD after this 1 year MBA?
We can't say that. You need to check with the concerned university because different universities have different criteria and we can't say that.
The next question is, what is the fee structure for this program?
The fees structure is mentioned on the website also. It is around like 22,60,000, means including your living expenses for the program.
So one candidate has asked this question, are there hidden costs? There are no hidden costs. This is all inclusive tuition, living, hostel, food, all put together.
Yeah. The next question is, what was the cutoff of previous year academic scores?
Not relevant.
Is it here?
Okay. The next question is, GSCM and DEM have the same criteria for admission. Do I have to apply them separately?
Yes, if you're interested, you have to apply separately.
Okay. The next question is, the next question is, can you brief about 2-minute video profile, which is a part of admission process?
You need to give a self-introduction in that video.
Okay, yes. So most of the questions are the common questions in regards to the admission process and what is the eligibility criteria. Okay, I'm checking on the questions. Okay, the next question is, this course is specific to supply chain management, but the roles offered are in general consulting and product management.
How is
If
it
you-
possible? Question.
Yes.
Acha, it's the same, that how is it possible? Is that, is it?
Yes.
Okay, okay, right. Now, if you look at product management, when we are talking about a sustainable supply chain, the supply chain, the sustainability aspects are very much a part of product management from the product design stage. And general consulting incorporates a lot of supply chain in its consulting practices. So those could be based on the needs of a specific company. But to say that product management does not have anything to do with supply chain is pretty, naive. Product management does have a lot to do, especially now when we talk more and more about sustainability practices.
Yep. The next question is this one-year global supply chain management and executive MBA program?
I think this also been answered. There are various names by which these programs are called.
The next question is from Bhavesh. Is there any other entrance exam apart from GRE, GMAT?
GMAT is not written. So GRE, GMAT, CAT. Those are the three exams we consider for eligibility.
Next question is, have a good profile. Weightage of the profile, don't have good academics.
As I said,
Exactly.
you need to apply and check. It's difficult to see.
Next question is from Puneet. What are the different profiles offered end of the course?
I think this also we've answered multiple times. Profile I'm talking about, I presume he's talking about work profile.
Yes, the work profile that has been offered after the course.
Operations, consulting, core supply chain, analytics, a whole host of roles which are available.
Okay, the next question is, in case the candidate having the gap after completing the graduation before starting the professional tenure of 1.5 and after that 4.5 years of work experience in procurement, will the candidate...
This was asked once earlier. We have already said it's not an issue. That person can apply.
Okay, the next question is, will this course be helpful to become an entrepreneur?
Yes, if that is your ultimate ambition in life is to become an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurs' main pain points in the initial stages of the business will be supply chain oriented. So this will definitely help you in, pursuing that dream of becoming an entrepreneur.
Okay. The next question is, I have masters in city planning and then worked as a project manager for Government of Indian Logistic Policy for 5 years. I've started my own firm recently. Am I eligible for this course?
Yes. As long as you meet that criteria, you're eligible.
the next question. Okay. Are the students in this program allowed to hold POR in various student clubs, sales in the IIMU?
You want to answer that, Surbhi?
Yes. So regarding the clubs and committee, being a student at IIM Udaipur, I've been part of 5 clubs, which includes Footworks, which is a dancing club for the students in IIM Udaipur. Being part of the Constitution Committee, wherein you can put in your own thoughts for the committee itself, for the 1-year committee. Then events like Audacity, TEDx, or Utkrisht can be also part of it. So it's just not confined to being part of this course. Doesn't allow you to be part of the clubs and committee. It totally allows, it gives you all the freedom to be part of the clubs and committee. So you can do what you can join the clubs as per your interest. Okay. Next question. Okay. Next question is on. I have a master's in technical course and then work experience of 5. Currently, I've started my own firm. Is it a disadvantage for me of having more work experience? What is the average age of the class? Do I need to submit a document for the recent pay slip as it is my own firm?
I assume that you will be going back to your own firm after the program. So I don't think the experience should be a disadvantage to you. The average age, it varies, 27, 28, 29. That is the range in which we end up depending on the experience with which students come. Tanu, that pay slip, is it required, or that experience certificate will be required for the 5 years?
Yeah, if you have your own company, then there is a separate set of document which is required to prove your entrepreneurship. If you are working in a company, then yes, a work experience and a pay slips, latest pay slips are required to validate your work experience.
Okay, let me intervene here, because I see many questions still people are asking about. I come from a particular background, will I get this kind of role? And let me make it clear that the background that you come from may have some bearing or some relevance to the role that you may get, but many companies don't attach that lot of importance to the role that you get in the future. The whole idea of doing a management education is people come to a management school to be able to change their role and things that they do in the future. So people can come from an NGO background and still get management consulting role. There is no relationship. But, so I don't think you need to be overly worried about it, because, it's very hard to say. Now, different companies approach it differently. Some people may see a background and then look for, give you an offer. Some companies don't so much look at the background, look at the person you are. So it's very hard for us to say, if you came from X background, whether you will get Y role. Are you getting my point? That's the basic idea. And I would say, with respect to your scores and, what is right, what is wrong, it's too much for us to answer, and it's too much for us, you to get worried about it. The best thing is to, if you are interested, if you think IIM Udaipur is the right place, supply chain excites you, go ahead and apply. That's the best way forward, because we still have several questions, and we are trying to best to answer as many new questions as possible.
Yep. The next question is, I have 2 years of work experience in procurement as a full-time and 1 year of contract base. Will it be considered for the admission process?
If you have a full-time experience, like 2 year in procurement, and if you're working on contract, but it's a full-time, it means job where you're getting salary, so you can, that experience will be counted.
Okay. The next question is, my work experience is into operation, payments, chargeback, and risk. Will this MBA program help me secure a management role in the operations?
What this program will equip you in the area of supply chain. Where you end up is purely dependent on your interests, what you are able to assimilate from the program, and how you are able to communicate with the prospective employer. So there are a lot of things. Just coming and attending a program will not guarantee you some career change. There are a lot of things which need to go into it. And if all those things are there, then yes, most of our candidates come from some background and they end up somewhere else only after the program is completed. So there is no reason why it should not happen, but a lot is dependent on your interests.
Okay. The next question is, I have unofficial GRE score. Official, I would receive after the deadline date. Can I apply with an unofficial score?
If you are planning to apply in this cycle, so I recommend that once you can apply in next cycle, once you have an official scorecard in hand. Even if you are if you are applying in cycle 5th, when the application is ending, you can apply with an unofficial scorecard.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question is on, is it necessary to have specified 3 years of work experience in the domain of supply chain and procurement?
The experience could be in any field. It doesn't have to be in supply chain.
Excuse me.
Okay. The next question is, I am having 4.5 years of work experience in supply chain manufacturing at Hindustan Unilever Limited. Currently, I'm working as a senior engineer executive and I've scored 80 percentile in CAT 2022. What is my chance of getting into this program with this score?
That we can't answer. You have to apply and find out.
So most of the questions we have almost answered. Is the repeated questions that we're getting
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for attending this program and being patient with us. We had an overwhelming participation and lots of questions. We have tried to answer as many as possible. And if you still have some remaining questions, we'd encourage you to write to the admissions office or call at the number that was shared. And we wish you all the best. And thank you for being with us this evening. And I would like to also thank you, all the panelists. Good evening and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for it. All the best.